Hi and welcome to Vicky's Precious Petals. So you may remember, or if you've watched my plant videos, that here back on the 7th of December I planted these out. These were just cuttings of kalanchoe, all different colours. So I can't tell, the leaves are still looking fine, but I can't tell if they're rooted. These are all getting new little shoots on them. So see, there's little new shoots here and in here, in there, here, and this has got some little shoots down here as well. This has got three little new shoots, another shoot in here. I am going to leave these for another month and just make sure there's plenty of growth on them, good roots on them before I go any further. Now, a friend of mine, or a YouTube friend, we've never actually met, she's a member and she asked me to do a video on succulents and propagation. Now most succulents propagate pretty easy, but we're going to do a few today. So look how pretty this is. These remind me of a rose. Okay, so I've got a few of these. I'll just pull them out from in my hothouse. They were just growing in the sand as they do, but I quite like these. If they're getting some sun, they'll get all of these nice little pink tips on them. I'm pretty sure these ones, if you put them just in the shade, they lose the pink and they just go green. I think that's how it works. There's just too many of these for me to remember every one of them. As yeah, succulents, cactus, there's absolutely millions of them, so it's out of my league. So I'm just going to move these and I'm going to show you what we're going to do today. Okay, just before I go too far and get my other stuff out, see these ones? This gets little tiny plants all over it, all around the edges. You can see where they've been on this one. I just tried to move it, and this is in a pot that's come up, so you can see all of these things produce thousands of little plants. I don't know what it's called, but don't plant them, don't buy them, you will be really sorry. Yeah, I don't know. And this is all the babies coming up in here, so if you can see all of those, bloody terrible it is. Okay, I've got these cute little pots down here. Well, now the wind comes up, so I'm hoping you can hear me over the wind. So I've got 4 of these. I've actually got more inside. I'm not traipsing back up there. And I've got another little pot here. And then I've got some bigger pots. So I'm going to start with these little ones, because I think we're building up to a storm. I might get those done. Now, off to my left here, I have some cactus and succulent mix. So I'm just going to put a bit in these pots and I'll be back in a sec. Right, now what I'm going to do, I know these have roots on them, but like if I can't fit that in that pot, like, no wait, that's not going to fit in there. So I might get away with that little one, and then I'm going to cut this off. And then, yeah, okay, I can do that. I'm just going to take a bit of potting mix out. So this one, we don't need to actually propagate. And I'm just going to put a little bit of cactus mix in around it. Now I would like to put another little piece in there, a bit big, it's rubbish. I must have another little piece over in here somewhere. 50 things floating around in this little tray. Okay, so what have I got? But these, you see how these are different colours, but they look really similar. So I don't know if they're the same, because some of these things are so close to one another, it's just ridiculous. And I just don't know all their names. you got to just, you know, like just specifically be in that sort of a thing. So this one might work. Let's move that over there for a second. So this one's a little bit on the thin side. I'll just cut that off like that. Now what I'm going to do, you shouldn't need rooting powder with most cactus succulents, but this one's a little bit weak, so I'm just going to give it a little bit of a head start, and I just need a little bit more. I tipped it down the plant. A little bit more on the other side. Okay, we're good to go. So I will put these in a tray and we'll put a date on them, and then we'll come back and check them all out on the next video I'm doing with plants. So I'm just going to put that aside. Which will be this one. Process again. I'm just going to tip a bit of that out so I can get this in here. So these little pots I got on Temu or AliExpress, one or the other. But be careful when you go to buy them, and just check the sizes against another pot that you might have, or a glass or a cup or whatever. Because some of mine turned up and they're so small, they're like doll's house sizes. And I think I could make them into earrings. That's how big they are. So I'm thinking with this one, I've got this nice little bit of jelly bean here. We might put that in there as well. Let's cut that off. It's got a few roots on it. See if I can get that down in there. And like in a couple of months, I don't fall back out on me. I'll only just put you in home. Get back in there. It just wants to be on one side, and that's not where I want it to be. Okay. Wants to keep moving. So there's a little jelly bean here and these little plants here. Now see how I've kept them really low to the pot? These are really small pots, so if I put something like that in there, I did that, that'll just look ridiculous, you know, like, no. Yeah, look like a, I don't know what it'd look like. Anyway, so we're on to the next one, and this is what I'm going to use. So just going to cut its stem. Just dipping that in just a bit of water. Okay, in we go. So it nicely fills the pot. So while I'm not going to get a huge amount of money for these at the markets, like probably $10, it will, if I have these sitting at the front, they'll attract people to the table. You'd be surprised. They see a cute little pot with a little plant poking out of it, especially these ones that have got a bit of colour on them. They'll really go well. Now I'm just tapping that down. Alrighty, moving on. Let's stick that over there. Got another one. look, if anybody knows what these are called, please write it in the comment, let me know what they are. And I found some of those plant files about a sand is a pocket and a singlet. You're flat out telling you what a rose is. Okay. Because it's got no roots, I'm just going to give it a little bit of a head start again. Not absolutely necessary with these. And some people like to throw them aside and let them dry out. These were thrown aside. I've got a whole tray of thrown aside and they're all growing. Oh my god. Anyway. So, and then I've got another little bit of jelly bean here. These can be a bit of a bum, these jelly beans. A bit's full of them. I can't find the proper little stick. It should be in my box and it's not there. I think somebody's helped themselves to my box with a little box that's got all these little bits and pieces in for doing this sort of thing. Okay, that's a little box. Then this one, I thought this would make a nice like cable type one. Just throw that in there out of the road. I've got some gravel here somewhere. I'm just going to throw it on the bottom of this pipe so we get plenty of drainage. Where'd they go? Somewhere. Okay, I just put a bit of river gravel on the bottom, so it just stops your soil from sometimes, especially if you put too much water on, sitting on the bottom and it clags all up and goes tight together and then sort of becomes waterlogged. And these are cactus and succulents, they really don't like too much water. So I'm just going to put some soil in this. Rightio, we're all ready to roll. So these are what I thought. See how these are different from one another. And then I've got this one. It's kind of like a jelly bean but oversized, and it's like if it was hanging that way it'd be a ponytail, but it's not. I'm not sure what they are. And then I've got this piece here as well. So let's get to it. I'm not sure how big this one gets. I'm trying to avoid things that get really huge. This has got a couple of little roots on it. So I might stick that in the middle. And then the little jelly beans, I'm going to go with this way. So this one's got no roots on it, just here. And this is just rooting powder. You can buy it at most supermarkets, nurseries. We can in Australia anyway. That's it. This one needs a bit of a haircut. Yeah. Too long to get in. Just dipping it in the water. A bit more rooting powder. Get away. Flies crawling on me. So we don't have another market now for a couple of months. So I'm hoping that these will be ready to go by then. Now this one, it's got some roots on it. So, put that in. Like that. Just going to make that a bit shorter. I'll just cut it a bit shorter to put it in water. So if you kind of live in my area and you're looking for some succulents, I don't have a great deal of actual cactus left, but feel free, give me a call and you can come around and get some. So this one, I'll cut off about here somewhere. So what I was thinking of doing at the markets as well, apparently, I don't know how, but I haven't worked it out yet, but I'm going to. You can hook your phone up to a monitor and then like play your videos on the things you do. So that's what I asked ChatGPT that this morning, and she said yes. So I'm going to work that out, how that works. Because I do have a monitor that I can take off my laptop, because at the moment I'm only using the laptop without the second monitor, because I've got a computer in my office and it's got two monitors on it. Look how pretty this is looking with the red going around the outside. So I might just nick that little one off. So see, there's a little one on the side there. I'm just going to nick that off. Oh, hang on, I've got another piece over here as well. I was thinking I was out of it. Ah, look at that. Heaps of it. Okay, so I'm not going to nip that one off. I'm just going to put it about there somewhere. So these have been growing sideways because they were thrown in a tray and they were all laying down. Now if you want, you can dip straight into the bag with this. The only thing is it contaminates the whole bag, so hence that's why I use these little pots with my rooting powder in them. Propagating powder, whatever you want to call it. It was rooting powder when I went to TAFE to learn horticulture many moons ago now. So I'm hoping this one here will get a little bit bigger. It's either that or I have to move it out. I think I'll move it out. I'll put it in there. One more in there, I think. Okay, I'm just going to take its little leaves off the bottom here. Now, I could have just thrown these in another pot, but I've got that many bits and pieces growing that I really don't need anymore. So I'm just going to cut this here. Okay, now I'm going to give this a quick water, and I'm thinking I have some pebbles down here somewhere. exactly where, I'm not sure, but they'll be in a tub somewhere. I'll go and have a quick look, see what I can find. Okay, making a bit more space here. I found some white rocks. God knows how long I've had them for. And I found blue rocks and pink rocks and purple rocks and... seriously. Oh dear, they must have been having a rock sale somewhere. God knows when I bought them. Dogs next door, which are huge dogs, eat my dogs like in one mouthful. My dogs have got to get to the fence and try and stir them up. Why? I've got little fluffy things. I can hear Max trying to be tough. Those dogs ever come through the fence, because they make it, that get the other dogs going, and then they bounce on the fence, and it's a colourblind fence. We put it up over 30 years ago. They ever bust through a panel, my dogs will be hiding under the bed. That's if they make it that far. And I don't know why the guy next to us has got great big dogs. I've never seen anybody playing with them, walk them, wash them. Get off. Must be a butch thing to do, I think, having big dogs. Now I'm just trying to get these stones right in and around the plants. Yeah. If you put them down too thin, then you can see the soil from it. Looks dodgy, brothers. So I might find I need to give this a few more, like after all the plants get going. And then you just go around and just give them a light push, so they're kind of in the soil a bit. I've still got a few little blank spots in there, but I'll wait till these plants get going a bit first, otherwise I might be upsetting the plants. Alrighty, so that kind of looks really cute, and I can't find the rest of my trays. I've got a whole box of them somewhere. Okay, so that one's been watered. I'm going to put it away with a tag on it. It just tells me when I've done it. And then I've just got these little ones. I'm just going to keep those white rocks in case I need it. And I'm just going to give these a water. Thank you for watching, really appreciate it. For members only, if you're not a member, please join, that'll be great. It's cheap as chips, it's $3. Pretty sure that's what it is. $3.99, $2.99, something like that. And you're after details on a certain plant. If you tell me what the plant is, email me. My email address is on my dashboard. You'll find it there, or just leave a message and on these plants, and I will send you my email address, and then you can ask me what you would like. Now please don't ask me about some plant that grows in Alaska. I don't think there's many plants that grow there, but I wouldn't have a clue. So make it reasonable, and I will definitely help you out. I'll talk to you later. Thanks for watching, guys. Thumbs up, please. I really need those thumbs up. See ya. Bye.